iOS Pulse, episode 24. This episode of the iOS Pulse podcast is brought to you by GoToMeeting with HD Faces. All right, everybody, and welcome to another iOS Pulse podcast. As always, I'm your host, Lloyd Hannison. I'm the host over at VGPodcasts.com. I host all the shows over there. Thanks for joining me. We're recording this. What's the date today? I've even forgotten the date. It's Tuesday, April 17th, 2012. This will be coming out on Wednesday morning. And we're doing something a little bit different in this episode. Not only am I going to be recording audio like I always do, but we're going to be trying to record some video as well. So I'm going to have some video playing in the background when I do my talk. We'll see how this goes. It'll be posted over at youtube.com. It's also going to be over at VGPodcasts.com. That's probably the best place to get it. You can just go there. We're trying to record video for all of our shows. Of course, not all the iOS Pulses are going to be done the same way since we have other hosts coming in and doing their thing. Pretty much any iOS Pulse that I do, I'm going to want to do it this way. This is kind of I don't want to say a dry run. It's a wet run, I guess, because I'm hoping that this works so that I can just post this up so I don't have to do it again because that's a lot of work to get all this stuff working. I have like 3 different machines going and a control board and my iPad and all this stuff working. So this is stressful, but we'll see. We'll see how it works actually once all the moving pieces are, I guess, moving. I guess I got to put my little VG podcast bug right up there since that little guy over there, right there. Yeah. Oh, right there. Yeah. If you're watching video, my finger's poking it. All right. But for this episode, I'm going to be doing a review of a great game that just came out late last week called Burnout Crash. I've been playing the heck out of this one. I really dig it. I was a big fan of the game on the PlayStation 3 and also love it here on my iPad as well. But before we do that, I just wanted to take a little break and bring you a word from our sponsor. We're actually going to be running ads in the show for the first time. This is the first time that we've done it on iOS Pulse since it's a subset show of the Touch of Gaming podcast, which we've run ads in off and on for the last few years. So thanks to Citrix from GoToMeeting, who's our sponsor. You can see all their little info right on the bottom of the screen, right down there. I'm a huge fan of Citrix. I'm a huge fan of GoToMeeting, so I'm really glad that they're here to give some support rather to the show. So if you're not familiar with GoToMeeting with HD Faces, it basically allows you to work with colleagues from home while you're on travel or business, because getting everyone together for a meeting can be an impossible task these days. But I have the solution that is GoToMeeting with HD Faces. Your team can meet face-to-face while online, no matter where they are in the world or pretty much what they're using. It works across PCs, Macs, tablets, iPhones. I mean, it's crazy what you can use nowadays to get online with GoToMeeting. Their iPad app rather is phenomenal. It works really, really well. GoToMeeting by Citrix. Citrix allows you to collaborate on files and plans, on documents, on drawings, on web designs, on whatever you're doing on your computer, because you're basically showing what's on your computer to everybody that has joined the meeting. And now with HD Faces, you basically just need a webcam, and you can turn your online meetings into a group HD video conference. So it's just like you're in the same room with them, even though one of your colleagues is sitting on a beach somewhere, the other one's in their house because it's snowed in or there's a rainstorm or something. They can't get to work. Allows you still to get together, even though you physically cannot get together. And you can even participate on the go with the built-in camera with your iPad. You can basically just turn it on and there you are. You're in a GoToMeeting with HD Faces. Pretty cool. Just download the GoToMeeting app to join. Basically, be able to see someone's face when you're communicating tells a lot of things. If you're trying to pitch something to a client, they could be on the other phone just kind of looking at the ceiling and like sleeping. You don't know, but if you're on HD Faces, you can see that the thing that you just showed them is awesome, or that maybe they're a little bit confused, and you can rework what you're saying. It basically allows you to do face-to-face sales calls without having to do a face-to-face sale call. Very cool. I love GoToMeeting. I've been using it for years, and it's definitely the best online meeting service. I love it, and I'm glad that I'm able to bring you a special offer. So you can start hosting your own face-to-face online meetings today with GoToMeeting, and you can do it free for 30 days because you're a listener of this podcast. But don't wait. Download your trial today. Visit gotomeeting.com, click on the trial button and the try it free button rather, and use the promo code podcast. That's gotomeeting.com. Click on the try it free button and use the promo code podcast. You can see it right on the bottom of the show, or of my face rather, if you're watching on the video. Love GoToMeeting, great product, and definitely thanks to GoToMeeting for supporting the show. All right, well, let's start up my iPad. We'll get some music running in the background because if you're not familiar, one thing about Burnout is they always had really great tracks. This is the iPad version / iPhone version. It's universal, and it's not as varied as, say, the console, but it's still pretty cool. I like the music, so I'm gonna have it running in the background while I'm doing this. So yeah, this is my review of Burnout Crash. It's a universal app by Electronic Arts, and it is $4.99 on the App Store. Switch over to some of the video here, if you can see it. Oh no, that's not the right one. That's the wrong camera. There we go. So Burnout Crash, basically the series has been around for over 10 years, spanning multiple console generations. Basically, you take one part driving game and just add in some sick crashes, and you have an idea of what this franchise is about, what Burnout is about. In September of last year, EA tried something a little bit different with the franchise. Instead of just a normal 3D racing title with crash mini games thrown in, or having that as part of your racing, they took driving basically right out of the game. And I know that sounds weird because, I mean, Burnout is a driving game with crashing, but they took driving out and made this little arcadey title where your only goal is to cause as much damage as possible. It's Burnout Crash is a top-down racer, or I guess top-down puzzle / I don't know, crazy game. I don't even know how to really categorize it. You're basically moving your car all over these maps and blowing up and doing certain things. So to play the game, you basically select a level. They're called intersections in the game, and then you try to hit as many cars as possible. Everything that you hit in the world basically gives you some points, or I guess dollar damage is what it is. And you basically want to try to get as high a score as possible. To make things a heck of a lot more fun, you always have a crash meter, or crash breaker meter rather, that is building up slowly on the bottom left of the screen while you're playing a level. When the crash meter is full, tapping your car will actually cause your car to explode, basically damaging cars, sending them careening all over the map, blowing up or damaging buildings and things like that, all the things that are around you. On swiping your car will basically shunt you slowly in that direction, so use that to move around. So if a car is coming but you're not quite in front of it, you can kind of swipe your car and you'll slowly shunt down, which is pretty cool. But if you do that when you set off a crash breaker, you basically launch yourself way across the map, and you can use that to do damage and also to set yourself up to block some more cars. So pretty cool control method, and it works really well with the touch controls. Each intersection can be played in 3 different game modes. There's Rush Hour, there's Pile Up, and there's Roadblock. And there are 5 stars to be earned in each mode. There's a total of 18 intersections, which gives you a total of 270 stars to unlock in this game. So yeah, there's lots to do. The stars in this game are used to unlock the different cars. So you start with a car, but then you can use when you get to a certain star level, you unlock a new car, which will have different abilities. They'll either be tougher, so you can do more damage, or you get better aftertouch, which is the ability to control your car after an explosion. So the higher aftertouch, the further you'll move, or the more that you can maneuver your vehicle after you've exploded or when you're shunting. So you basically choose the car that best suits your control style or your play style, and you play the game. For the different game modes, I kind of mentioned them, but I'll kind of give you a little I don't know, sentence bit of info about it. Rush Hour, the main mode in each level is basically just a 90-second timed game where you basically have to cause as much damage as possible. That's all you really do. You earn stars by upping your score, so getting $15 million in damage, getting 30, getting 50, or by doing different stunts or environmental damage. Stunts are like causing a car to send or to shoot across the level and hit another car, or to basically cause multiple crashes, multiple vehicles to explode at once. Those types of things. Pile Up has you trying to cause as many crashes as possible, and each crash that happens, you build up a meter at the top right. If you're watching the video, that's what's that's the gameplay, the game mode that's being shown right now. Basically, once you get all those crashes, once the thing basically fills up as much as possible, you basically explode and start everything that you damage on fire. And you have to keep things burning, because if you don't do enough damage to something and it doesn't start burning, eventually a little timer ticks down and then it's game over. So you're trying to shoot yourself all over the map, start vehicles on fire, start buildings on fire, and just keep going. Of course, each thing you start on fire, it umps your multiplier and you get higher and higher and higher scores, which is pretty cool. Roadblock is the final game mode, and it's very similar to Pile Up, but instead of just filling up a meter once, you have to do it 3 times. Each time you fill up the meter, you set off a big environmental item or a special feature. So, for example, the third one in the first level, so once you fill up the meter the third time, you basically unleash this big like tornado that comes and damages things. So if you've partially damaged buildings and cars, it'll eventually do major damage and destroy it fully, which is pretty cool. But watch out, in both Pile Up and Roadblock, if you let 5 cars escape, the game is over, and also the number of cars that drive off the screen give you an X. Well, in Roadblock they give you an X. In Pile Up they just basically take down your multiplier, and your final environmental big thing in Roadblock gets less powerful the more cars that escape. So you want to try to hit every car, get in the way, set yourself up to block the intersection, and do that as much as you can. It gets crazy, but it is a lot of fun. In all the levels, you can unlock various bonuses that will either help or hinder your shot at a high score. For example, there's vehicles like pizza trucks or police barricades that will drive in, or even limos that drop money. Guys are throwing money and they throw money bags out. I don't know why they do that, but they do. And you pick them up and you get points, which is pretty cool. These can appear randomly. So sometimes you'll just have the pizza truck will drive in, or you can fill a meter. If you're playing one of the game modes, filling a meter will cause one of these guys to come in. My personal favorite is the pizza truck. If you manage to smash it and destroy it fully, you get to spin the Wheel of Fortune. And when you do that, you can get something cool. Basically, sometimes, depending on where it falls, you might get a meteor shower. You might cause the world to turn into ice, which makes it easier to slide across, and you get bonus points for causing multiple car damages and things like that. Pretty cool. Or you can even cause this huge sinkhole to appear in the middle of the map, which basically causes mayhem because cars just drive in, or you can push cars in, and you get bonus points for all that, and your score just goes up and up and up, which is pretty cool. So yeah, that's basically the game modes. They're awesome. They're a lot of fun, and they're pretty cool. But I do have one big issue with Burnout Crash, and that's that it doesn't actually appear to be done at all. And this is for a game that was originally supposed to launch around the same time as the Xbox Live and PS3 versions, so in like September of last year. The biggest glaring issue is when you start the game, you get a Game Center pop-up error message, which I've never seen before, and I'm surprised this made it past like Apple's processes, to like the approval process and stuff like that. It basically pops up and says, "This game is not recognized by Game Center." Which is probably a big thing, and you would have assumed that would have been picked up during beta testing, but apparently it wasn't. So I'm not sure what that's all about. Since this is an EA game, it also supports the Origin network that they're pushing in a lot of their titles, and also Burnout's own autolog. So if you played any of the other Burnouts, or at least the Burnouts from the last console or this console generation, you probably know what autolog is. Basically, Autolog is a per intersection high score tracker, so you can see how your friends have scored and try to beat their high scores. A lot of fun, but it doesn't appear to be working at all. Apparently, the high scores, you can compare high scores, you can make friends, do all that type of fun stuff, but it doesn't appear to be working. I don't know if it's just me. I've added players to my Origin account that own this game, and they're not showing up. So not really sure what that's all about. And again, you think that would be something that was that would have been found by all the playtesters. Pretty weird. It's busted and it's frustrating. So I guess overall, I have to give Burnout a 4 out of 5. Even with its problems, I enjoyed it. If you're looking for a fun and frantic arcade title that encourage you to replay all the levels multiple times to get your high score, Burnout is a great game to have on your iPad or iPhone. The levels do get a little bit repetitive with time. Oops, that's not the right camera. There we go. They do get a little bit repetitive, but personally, I was having too much fun to really worry too much about that. It's not something that I was too upset about because I was just having so much fun with this game. So Burnout Crash, $5 on the App Store by Electronic Arts. It's a universal title, so it'll work on both your iPad and your iPhone. And yeah, 4 out of 5. Awesome game. Really, really dug it. So hopefully you check it out. And if you do, definitely let me know. Post over at VGPodcasts.com on this actual post when it goes up. Let me know what you think of the game, or you can contact us. Do it a number of different ways. The easiest, of course, is head on over to VGPodcasts.com. You can click contact us at the top of the page. That allows you to send us an email. You can email us directly at VGPodcasts@gmail.com, or you can call our voicemail line, which is area code 505 VG Podcasts. All right, that's going to about do it for this episode. Hopefully my video trial works as well as I hope it does. At least I'm hoping. Definitely head on over and check that out, guys. I'd really like your feedback to see if it worked okay, having some of the gameplay stuff running in the background. I'm gonna have to play with it a little bit, but hopefully it worked well enough for you guys to found it enjoyable. So check it out, and that's gonna about do it for the iOS Pulses this week. We have the Touch of Gaming coming up on Fridays to finish off the 3rd episode for this week. So 3 episodes of iOS awesomeness. Hopefully you guys are liking it. We're loving bringing it out, putting out that much content for you guys, and basically interacting with you guys as much as we are. A lot of fun. Big thanks go out to Quacko and all the other people that have been helping out with the show. It's a huge help. I'm hoping that for the the Touch of Gaming show this week, that Kara will come on. She's been playing a lot of games. We're going to see if we can make that work. I'm not sure if it's going to work, but we're going to try our best. If not, we'll see who's available to quickly jump in and join me. So look for that on Friday. All right, guys. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for staying subscribed, and we'll talk to you soon. Thanks, guys. And of course, the sounds didn't work. There we go.